Are you ready to live boldly, full out, and on your terms? It's time to wake up, overcome your fears, and embrace uncertainty. Access your power and claim your dreams. It's time for Tuck Talk with Tuck Self, the Rebel Belle. Join us now for inspiring conversation and bold self-expression. Now here is your host, the Rebelicious Tuck Self.
So today I get to share one of my favorite topics, living in the gap. So what is the gap? I'm glad I asked myself. Allow me to share. The gap, you all, is that space between stimulus and response. It's that space between the in-breath and the out-breath, and it can be really, really short or not. It all depends on how we choose to create the space between when that stimulus comes in from the outside world, through all of our senses, the sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, and even intuition, and how we choose to respond or react to it. Now, how come I say respond or react? We can either choose, you all, to stay open to possibility like a kid on Christmas morning with surprise and delight for the gifts that we will receive, or we can react to the stimuli based on our attitudes, our judgments, our conditioning, totally shut down, pinching it off, closing the gap, and go unconscious like a robot and react, not respond, but react, totally from conditioning and habit. Either way, the point is, you create that gap. So I don't know if you've heard of Victor Frankel, a gentleman who spent many years in the Nazi concentration camps. He had this to say about the gap, and he said, between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space lies your growth, your freedom, and your power to choose your response. And it's in your response where your growth and your freedom lie. Now, I love this. I love knowing that my growth and my freedom and my power lie in my response. So I, you, we have the power to choose and create this spacious gap, you all, with joy, creativity, ease, fun. Or we can choose struggle and frustration and continually push that proverbial rock uphill. So how would you choose? I, for one, am going to raise my hand to live in the gap with joy and freedom and fun and what I call friggin-sparity. So how do you live in the gap? With gratitude, with attitude, and with perception. Now, if you are perceptive, you're going to notice that GAP, the title, includes the first three letters to those words, gratitude, attitude, and perception. So I've made it simple for you to live in the gap, so enter with me one component at a time. And let's begin with gratitude. Gratitude is a state of being. It's a state of thankfulness every freaking day for having the gift of life. It's getting up every day and planting your feet on the floor, proclaiming to God with a gobsmacking thank you that you're here for another day. I wake up every day thanking God for breathing life into this sometimes moody, tired, obstinate body, and for allowing me to wake up above ground one more day. And I love proclaiming, thank God I get to be Tuck Self one more day. So when I wake up every day affirming my fabulousness, it sets my mood, my tone, my attitude. For the day, I embrace my state of being so that when I walk out that door, I'm clear that I'm looking for people to love and people to serve. I love being around people who feel good and are grateful for who they are and the life that they're privileged to live. So gratitude is about living in a state of thankfulness, being grateful for who you are. It's experiencing the beauty of God's planet, taking it all in, getting up in the morning, feeling the sun on your face, the wind in your hair. It is a life well lived. So I invite you every day to be inspired by the abundance in your life and be enthused with the beauty of God's creations, including yourself, with gratitude. Now, the A in the gap is all about attitude. Attitude is walking by faith, not by sight. It's getting up every day and looking for what's right in the world, for possibility, for opportunities. To be God's love on earth, it's walking out that door with the absolute expectation and belief that what you deserve is on its way to you, regardless of what that world looks like. It's choosing to feel good, choosing to feel happy, regardless of how your world appears. Now, I may sound a little Pollyanna, and maybe I am. However, I've learned that struggling and working hard and pulling myself up by my bootstraps is simply conditioning. It is reacting to the stimuli rather than responding. So I'm excited that I get to choose to see the world the way that I choose it to be. So a little sidebar here. Did you know that you don't really even see with your eyes? Seriously, you see with your mind energy, the beliefs that you've been conditioned to see with. You see with what's between your ears. You know, a study was done years ago where individuals were given a pair of prism glasses, and when they put them on, their world immediately turned upside down. In other words, the people in their world were walking upside down. However, I was told that within 6 hours, every single individual wearing those prism glasses turned their world back right side up. They turned the people back right side up. You know how come? Because people in their world did not walk upside down. Their belief and their conditioning turned the people right side up. We do not see with our eyes, we see with our mind's energy. This is important, you all, because every morning when you wake up and you open your eyes and you allow your mind energy to tell you and remind you of who you are, you're walking by sight and not by faith. So rather than waking up and remembering this long list of to-dos based on who you are, wake up to possibility. Check your attitude. Walk by faith and not by sight. See the world the way you choose it to be and wake up in a state of gratitude, affirming your fabulousness. You will not only live in the gap, you will expand your gap. Attitude is everything. Now on to perception. Perception, you all, is everything. I think I just said that about attitude. However, your perception of yourself and the world that you live in is vital to the experience of your everyday and your life. How you set your perceptive filter, that filter of your input, is going to equal the experience of your life. You determine your perception. Every day when you get up, you set your filter to one of three inputs, either fear, hostility, or love. So let's say you set your filter to fear. What will be the experience of your day? Fear, anxiousness, worry, insecurity. You're going to go, oh my God, I'm going to run out of money. I'll never find the right mate, the right job. Worry, what if, anxiety, fear. Set your filter to fear, and this, my friends, is going to be the experience of your day. Now, what if you set it to hostility? Now your day is going to be one where you experience anger. You'll actually go looking for things that are going to piss you off, like that driver who pulls in front of you and you go off on your emotional wave of anger, rather than taking that deep breath in, responding, and expanding your gap. Now, every story has a happy ending. So what happens when you set your filter to love? Fabulous things. You, my friend, will hold love, compassion, empathy, and acceptance for everyone in your day, and you will say, there but by the grace of God go I. You will no longer be afraid of or angered by some outside person or circumstance. You'll find yourself responding from a total state of love and neutrality, expanding your gap. This is how it works when you set your perceptive filter to love. So in closing, one final point. Another study was done with a group of depressed people and a group of happy people. And they were shown an equal number of funeral and wedding slides. When asked, the depressed people, you all claimed that they saw a greater number of funerals. The happy people, they said they saw a greater number of wedding slides. So you see, it is all perception. perception is everything. And so the next time something comes your way, remember the gap. When you awake in the morning, remember the gap. That space between stimulus and response, where you hold and create gratitude. Gratitude for being you, for all of your fabulousness, and taking in the wonders of this extraordinary world. With an attitude where you walk by faith and not by sight, seeing your life and the world the way you choose it to be, right side up and fabulous. And where you set your perceptive filter to love every day, and you get ready to be gobsmacked with emotions of love from yourself and others that flood into your heart. So, my friends, you now have what I call gapability. You have gapability, and that is the ability to create and sustain a meaningful, joyful, and purposeful life living in the gap with gratitude, with attitude, and perception. As usual, you all, if you have been inspired by what you have heard shared today, be sure and share us with your friends, and for sure, come back and join us again next week.